I feel like everyone's had one of those moments before where they see something and they're like, they see a viral tweet and they're like, I thought about tweeting this yesterday. I literally thought about
It's
tweeting
so
this yesterday.
upsetting.
It's unfortunate. Or if you see a tweet that you did tweet and someone else tweeted it and also had that original thought, but they just happened to go viral. You know what? One time back whenever Baby Driver came out, right? That movie was it came out at the same time that EXO Tour Life was huge,
Yeah.
right? Which is just a wild time to think back on. But that song was popping off. I went to go see Baby Driver. I saw the movie and I was like, oh, I have a fire tweet. And it was a picture of Baby and what's her name? The other girl. That's like his love interest or whatever.
I forgot.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But it was like a picture of them and I was like, she said, "Baby, I am not afraid to die." Because she was like,
Wow.
Not afraid to die. She was
So you didn't do it, right?
No, I did. That's the thing. I did tweet it. I was like, this is a viral tweet right here. And it's rare that you tweet something and you're like,
and it's
no,
just such a certified banger.
Yeah, like sometimes you just see something and you're like,
did someone steal?
I know.
Did someone steal your tweet?
No one stole. Here's the thing. No one even stole my tweet. It just didn't pop off.
So wait, there wasn't someone who posted anything similar that popped off?
No, this is just a story about a failed potential viral tweet, in my opinion.
I feel like it's slightly niche though. Like I get why.
If you saw the movie though, I feel like it's not that niche. And a decent amount of people saw the movie. Granted though, I tweeted that, like I saw it probably opening weekend. So maybe it just, hadn't had enough time to kind of get out there with audiences.
Yeah, to disseminate amongst people.
Also, the thing is, I capitalized the B in baby. So I feel like that gave it like a little bit more of a push. Clearly, I remember this so vividly. No, and this movie came out in 2017. So clearly this tweet struck a chord.
He's so upset.
Struck a chord with me because...
Hello and welcome back to the Needle in the Lens podcast. I am your host Noah with my co-host
Kevin.
I fucked that up so hard, but I went with it.
And you know what? I went with it too somehow. It was real, and I feel like I don't even think I showed any shock on my face. I just like I heard it and I immediately was just like, I'm gonna go with it.
Hey, I realized after the word Noah left my mouth, I was like, oh, I fucked it up. Let me just roll with it. And then proceed to screw it up by pointing out that I fucked it up. But
it's
no, that was totally intentional. I lied. I'm a liar. All right. Like SZA. I just lied. SZA. Exactly. But welcome back. We're back. Music, TV, movies. You know what it is. We are here to talk about it. We're here to give you the news, give you the information, and if you want, our opinions on it.
Yes. And if you like our opinions enough, you should just subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe and leave a comment down below and share.
Look at that. Look, see, I'm trying to
Look, we got to
trying to get people to say.
Exactly. We got to do the CTA on here. But yes, we are here, and look, if we sound like a broken record, I'm sorry, but it's been a bit of a slow news 3 weeks. And we kind of got part 3 going on over here of
I don't know if it's been a slow week. It's just like the biggest, like it's just been like similar new, like the same. Drake and Kanye are the two people that just continue to dominate.
Those are the ones who are
cultural conversation.
Yeah, the whole conversation regarding music is about that, and all of the movie conversation for the most part is very Shang Chi and Marvel centric.
Right.
So, I mean, here's hoping this is the last part of this 3-part trilogy that we've got going on here. But I mean, hey, I could talk about these all day, if we're being honest.
I don't know if I could talk about these all day, but
okay, maybe not the Drake and Kanye stuff. I'm over it.
That's getting kind of tired.
But I will always talk about Shang-Chi. Go see Shang-Chi, all right? If you couldn't tell by my shirt, I mean, I feel bad now for the people who are listening to us on a podcast listening platform, but yeah,
got a Shang-Chi shirt on.
Yeah, I do have a Shang-Chi shirt on. You got a poster, unfair completely, by the way. This is a hate crime, and I'm suing.
Yeah, the theater I went to just was like,
no, literally. But I didn't get one, right? But I didn't fucking get one. Yeah.
That's so wild. They had a big stack. They're like, you can just take one. And I was like,
yeah, they didn't have shit at my theater, and I'm just like, well, why? Why do you hate me? It is a hate crime. I am very offended right now.
You know, and maybe it's because. Hold up, let me look at this post. See, does the theater you go to have IMAX? Was it an IMAX?
Yes,
theater?
It was an IMAX theater.
Oh well, yeah, I don't know what to tell you did.
Yeah, I went. I didn't see it in IMAX because I'm poor.
I also didn't see it in IMAX.
I was gonna say I had to buy tickets for 5 people. Like I'm not gonna pay how much because our IMAX tickets are $17.
Yeah, that's about how much it is.
Yeah, and I was
the thing
like,
is, we're not like
with the placing ahead fee, it comes out to basically $20 a pop, and I was like, I'm not paying $100.
mean, IMAX, I feel like is one of those. Like you treat yourself to IMAX. That's like a once a year.
I'm gonna treat myself and go by myself. Like I'm not gonna fucking go see IMAX with other people. At least not if I'm ordering it ahead. If I'm ordering it ahead, I'm not doing that. However,
I will be seeing a movie in IMAX this year. Maybe 2 movies in IMAX later this year.
What are you checking
out? The one movie that I am for sure seeing in IMAX is Dune.
Dune. Knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew it.
Without a doubt, seeing that in IMAX. Like
I'm probably gonna end up catching that.
Probably. Here's the thing: if I hadn't seen the like exclusive preview thing or whatever in IMAX, I probably wouldn't be so like I need to see this in IMAX. But after I saw it in IMAX, I was like, oh, this is too good. I can't see this movie any other way. The other one is maybe. And I think I'd be fine just watching that in XD probably though. Is Eternals. I could watch Eternals in XD.
Oh fuck, you're right. I may need to pull my friends together and be like, yo, because like we're going to go see all the Marvel movies with like we have a whole group dynamic going.
Yeah.
It's like I may need to be like, look, hey, as soon as the tickets drop, we're gonna go to the theater in person so we can buy the tickets. So that way I don't have to drop.
That's how it is.
I'm not dropping $100 off bat.
You're not messing with the convenience fees, huh?
No, fuck that. And like to buy them all together, like that's $100. I'm not dropping that.
That's reminding me of when
I might do it. The only thing is, like, I'm probably not gonna play with the whole. Okay, y'all can just pay me back after we see the movie. It's gonna be like, nah, run me my money expeditiously.
You know, it's so like the most wild before did like the online ticketing experience still has to be. I can't remember if it was Endgame or Infinity War. I think it was Endgame. Is that the one where you had to wait in the queue? Like there was literally a line, so you could get your tickets. Absurd. God, that's the only time I've ever like woken up, like set an alarm to wake up to buy movie tickets and then seen like you're in your number blah 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 in line.
Yeah, it was so crazy. What? I had to. I don't remember if I stayed up or woke up, but I had to be up at 5 a.m. to be ready to fucking buy the tickets. It was insane. Worth it. Hella worth it.
Worth it. And the seats that I ended up getting were like. They weren't bad. They weren't like
I got
my
pretty
ideal
fantastic seats. Like
really, mine were like kind of on the edge of a row.
Oh no!
But it was still in the back.
Yeah,
it wasn't like on the complete edge. Like there was still, I think, like 2 other seats on the side, and it was like a row. It was like obviously multiple people.
How many? I was gonna say, how many people were you going with?
I want to say 5. I think 4 or 5.
Mine was 4 or 5 as well, either. So it's like it's definitely harder when you're buying for those large groups.
Yeah,
like,
but since I bought tickets, I was like, I'm gonna sit in the seat that's close to the middle.
Obviously, yeah. No, that's just kind of how it works. That's just how it works. You know, you earn that seat right there. You earn the right to that seat.
Exactly. So,
when are Eternals tickets dropping? I may need to start paying attention to that.
I don't know. It's not till November, so I wouldn't expect it to happen till
maybe later this month. I was gonna say later this month or early next month.
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see.
We'll be copying those when they drop.
That we will. Gotta support my homegirl Chloe. All right.
But yes.
Yes, definitely exciting. But bringing back
of Marvel.
into that, yes, speaking of Marvel and speaking of the theaters, obviously, we all know Shang-Chi just dropped. All right. And, a lot was riding on this movie. A lot was riding regarding superhero and like big blockbuster movies in general coming out in this Delta variant world. And a lot was riding on it just for the sake of people of color representation within Marvel and like how much they push hard into it. So definitely this experiment looks like, I will say based on everything that I've seen, to have been a great success.
Yeah. This looks like it worked out for them. This whole controversy about whether
obviously I use that term because that's the word that they used, but obviously the whole idea of going theater exclusive release, and look, based on the performance it had and the reception it had, obviously it looks like it's been doing fine and it looks like it's been doing fantastic. It apparently, according to this article, shout out Rotten Tomatoes, that it broke the Labor Day weekend record for a $90 million 4-day haul. So that's a good chunk of money. I honestly, all things considered, I'm surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very surprised. No, I think Black Widow's performance really made me kind of skeptical of whether or not this would do all that well, because obviously, Asian-led movies, it's so hard. Because, my girl ScarJo. I'm done with the joke, I swear. But
that's the last one?
No, it's not the last one. It's a timeless joke. Always has, always will be. But
yeah.
It was definitely scary, to say the least. Like what would happen? Would this perform well? And I think obviously, it definitely performed better at the box office because people couldn't watch it on Premiere Access. Like, I'm not even going to deny that absolutely wasn't a factor in this doing so well.
Right.
And also just a 4-day weekend is nice to have on release date.
Right.
Like it's very nice time to drop because you already have people. I think a lot of people wouldn't normally go on a Sunday if they have responsibilities the next day, but more people are going on that Sunday because, hey, I don't got shit to do tomorrow. Boom, I'm going to go catch Shang-Chi,
Exactly.
So I definitely think that helped out as well. So,
yeah, I would agree. I think, like you said, I definitely was not expecting, the success that it got for, and I think we went into that on previous episodes.
Yeah.
For a number of reasons, but I think we were both hoping it would do well, and also because it seemed like more than this there were a lot of other studios kind of
they were looking towards this
movie to see how this performed. And that was going to there was a lot there was
so much riding shoulders. On it. And hey, he did what he had to do. He understood the assignment.
It definitely exceeded the projections. And studios tend to lowball.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
But this definitely, I think, even exceeded.
It more than surpassed the expectations. And it spells really well for kind of just other movies. I think I heard Venom actually got pushed up because of how well this did. It got pushed up to October 1st, I want to say it was, or like that weekend.
They pushed it up like 2 weeks
which
after this.
Very
which is
surprising.
Which is an interesting move.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I can't say I entirely understand, only because I don't know what necessarily pushing it up 2 weeks is going to do, unless they're like, oh, like people are going to the movies now. We don't want to wait. What if they change their mind 2 weeks from now? I don't know. Like,
Who knows?
I have no clue, but maybe there's another release happening that day they're trying to get it out of the way of.
Yeah, that could be it as well. And like October is looking actually really stacked, by the way.
No, yeah, October is super
so
stacked.
that's definitely good to hear that. I mean, I would honestly much rather get that out of the way early in the month than later.
It
would be nice, but I mean, yeah, movies like Jackass Forever.
Oh, that got pushed back.
Yeah. But like a lot of movie studios were looking towards this movie kind of for validation, in a sense of whether or not, hey, Big Daddy Marvel, is it a good idea to drop a movie right now? And I mean, it looks like it might be. Yeah.
Apparently.
I think the dry spell of movies early this year definitely also could have contributed to that as well. And also just not the simultaneous releases. But I think the best part of this, all in all, is that Eternals isn't going to get pushed back, and neither is Spider-Man. That is the best part. I mean, obviously, yeah. Let me not jinx it. Let me knock on wood. But
yeah,
it looks like we're going to get those on time, because I think those were mostly riding on this movie. Of like, okay, if this does
Eternals
shit,
for sure.
Yeah, if this does shit, we're going to push it back. Like I said, I still argued last time that Eternals would get pushed back before they ever push back Spider-Man. I don't think they would push back
Although
Spider-Man
I think, like, I don't know how much they could push back Eternals.
You can push it back to next year.
You're going to push it back to next year?
I
mean, I guess if they wanted to change up the order, I think they already ended up changing the order of the releases.
Yeah, they've already changed the order. Like,
for theatrical, I mean, I know they did it for Disney Plus.
I mean, I just think for their whole lineup, they've ended up changing the orders
I think
of stuff.
Maybe at one point Eternals was coming out.
That was first.
Or Shang-Chi? Yeah,
that was first. Because it was, I think it was even before Black Widow.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't know if that's correct, but it definitely was before Shang-Chi. So
yeah,
who knows?
So yeah, it'll be. I mean, it's cool that this did well, so Marvel can kind of keep their slate how it is. Hopefully, there's already been so many delays.
Yeah,
even
I
movies
am not looking forward
now
to more
still
delays.
being delayed. So yeah, and I guess it's funny you said that they were looking at towards Shang-Chi for Jackass, because they did end up delaying.
Yeah,
Jackass
no, it just got mentioned here. I misread it.
Oh, got you.
That folks at Paramount, which recently pushed these movies into 2022.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate that got delayed, only because I'm so tired of seeing that trailer play before every single movie when I go to the theater.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We got to see it for like another few months.
I was looking forward to that movie coming out only so that I could stop seeing the trailer.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
I'm tired, and that's a frustrating thing about going to theaters right now, is that just like there aren't a whole bunch of trailers playing.
Exactly, it's all the same.
So it's
stuff.
all the same ones, and I could probably quote that trailer for you at this point. Like,
there are definitely some that I do enjoy seeing every time they do pop up, though. Like I love seeing the Last Night in Soho trailer. I love
Last Night in Soho trailer is great. Also, lately I've really been loving The Last Duel. Have you seen that trailer?
I think I have.
It's the one with Adam Driver, and it's like a medieval. I think Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
I think I have seen that one. I maybe not have seen it as much, but
yeah, I've just started seeing it more recently, and I was like, that looks pretty good. Pretty good. But yeah, no. Going back to this, definitely happy to see Shang-Chi was successful. I am still standing firm in my belief that I think, because of the time we're living in, it would still be nice to see these movies on Disney Plus.
It would be nice, yes, especially, and I've seen a lot of people echo this sentiment as well, that like they are not feeling like it's safe to go out and see the movie right now. And you know, I can definitely agree with that to a certain extent as well.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I mean, we went to go see it, so that's
Right.
a whole separate thing. But it definitely would be nice for it to be more accessible to others. I think that it being only a 45-day window, it was, right? Until it gets on Disney
days.
Plus. I don't think that's all that bad. I think a month and a half isn't that bad. So that's why I think it's not necessarily, and obviously, you know, like you can let me know how wrong I am in the comments, right? But I don't think it's necessarily as much of a delay as I feel like even originally it would be. Like, I feel like it wouldn't hit Disney Plus normally until like maybe
normally
2 or 3 months.
Of course. Yeah, no. But I will say, just because, you know, we are still in COVID, it still sort of like incentivizes going to the movie theater, or places like, you know, makes it to where you're still missing out on something.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't go, and there are some people that would love to go and just can't
I think
go.
it helps theaters too, though.
I mean, it definitely does help theaters.
There are multiple sides to this coin, obviously.
No, yeah, for sure. I just think the way studios and directors and like producers are framing the going to the movie theaters conversation is like very just like it's just not it's not empathetic or like understanding. Like specifically Denis Villeneuve for Dune has been like the way he's been doing this is just like turning me off of wanting to even go to the movies. But
wait,
like,
isn't it coming to HBO Max?
It is. But he's like, please do not watch this on HBO Max. Like, go see this in theaters. Like,
man, I might now just to spite. I might.
No, it's real. Like, it really is just a spite. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go watch this on my Game Boy. Like, I am so, I like.
Shit, I might. I might watch it. I might watch it on my phone. Just yeah. You know what? I'm gonna pick up a used iPhone 7 and watch it on there
and just do it. Yeah, because it's so kind of elitist and like
that's
into
the problem.
Account anything else going on in the world that could possibly make people not want to go see your movies in the theaters. Like, wow, there's a pandemic going on. Like, you're over here yelling about how you want people to go see your movie in theaters. Like, really, is that the hill you're gonna die on right now?
Yeah, it's a bit wilding there, but I think there's a good way to frame the conversation though. I think like if you go like, hey, a lot of the way that this movie performs is based on box office, so yeah, whatever. But you could be like, look, bringing these movies to theaters helps make money for theaters to stick around, so that in the ending of this pandemic, we will still have theaters to go to. We can still have these experiences and they won't be entirely relegated to streaming services. And it's like, we understand if you don't feel that it's safe to go to the theaters, you know, by all means, you know, like go whenever you feel that it's safe, or wait out the X amount of time before we do eventually bring it to streaming services. I think that's just the best corporate speak way to handle it.
I think there's definitely like a more of a mindset that would be like, if you can go. Yes. Like, if it's one of those things where it's like, if I'm a director and I'm talking to my audience of people about whether I want them to see it in theaters or on HBO Max, and I'm like, if you are someone who you feel safe enough to go to the movie theaters, but are just one of those people that are, should I watch on HBO Max? Should I go to a theater? And you're on the fence, then I'm going to go to you and say, I'd encourage you to go see it in the movie theaters if you already feel safe enough to go. Not you know, looking at every single potential audience member and saying, I need you to get to the theater right now. I need you to. And like, I do understand like what you're talking about. Cause specifically with Dune, like this is not a complete, like this is Dune part 1. So, yeah, which like whenever you go and watch the movie, cause I saw the first bit of it, like it says Dune part 1 when it pops up. So, and like Denis Villeneuve talked about how the sequel is not guaranteed yet. And it's basically riding on box office numbers.
Yeah.
But that's not even like his main talking point when he's trying to get people to go to the theaters, you know?
Yeah. If he would say that,
like
then
I
it would be
understand,
totally different.
I understand we want it to be successful. I understand all these things because you want to make a sequel and you want to have a complete story and whatever. And I mean, hey, the sequel is supposed to be mainly like Zendaya's character is like the main character of that. So obviously, I'm all for it. I'm all for that. But like, it's just not a great look. And it is also kind of telling to me when, I don't know, a lot of the worst comments I'm seeing about like theatrical releases are coming from like white people, you know? It's just like, like, and then Patty Jenkins, director of Wonder Woman, was like, she was like shitting on like streaming movies the other day. She was like, those movies just are fake. Like they look fake to me. Like like there's something about like movies coming out in theaters. Like streaming movies are fake. And it's like, dude, like
yeah,
there's just this like elitist mindset and
it's terrible.
Like, yeah.
That whole elitism shit that shit's so corny. Come on.
Yeah. So
come on.
Anyway, once again, getting away from Shang-Chi, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out for future releases. And I mean, it was a wild, risky move here. But it could signal
there could be pretty massive payoff for it.
Yeah, we could be seeing the start of theaters or studios
coming back,
going back,
bringing back the theater.
Yeah.
Which I mean is good. At the end of the day, I love going to the theaters. I don't want theaters to fail. Yeah. But I'm not gonna have an elitism stance
to fail either. Yeah, it's just it's hard to fully be all in. Annoying people out there like this. But,
no, of course. And like that's the thing. There are many sides to this coin, and that it is important that these movies get a theatrical release because a lot of theaters are depending on these big movies to bring people back in again because 100%. They need money at the end of the day. If we already in my town, we already closed down another theater. Like
yeah,
it's bad. It's hard. It's brutal out here. All right, Olivia said it. All right,
we had a theater shut down here in Houston. Actually, one of the most historic theaters, in Houston that like was literally the only theater, that was playing The Farewell when that movie came out. The only theater in Houston that was playing that movie. That was the only way I was able to see that movie in theaters. So it's a really great theater. They just show like indie stuff and like art house stuff, you know. And yeah, that theater just got hit during the pandemic and they couldn't come back. And yeah, I think it was like Houston's oldest movie theater. Like it was, a pretty big important part. And there was a whole petition and people trying to donate and emailing like the mayor and trying like a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't make it. So it's definitely sad to see theaters go out of business and it's really unfortunate. And yeah, I just generally wish the conversation surrounding theaters was more nuanced.
And definitely without the air of elitism and that shit.
So
and just also without the lack of understanding for other people's situations, because there's a lot of cases where someone genuinely can't go to the theater, like you know, people who are like just really scared of the pandemic in general, but especially people who are immunocompromised or like have older relatives and can't really take that chance.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. And like those are important considerations. So I think that when you make the conversation, you know, solely in that like, oh, we need theaters. I mean, you obviously have to understand that there is that other side. So that's why, you know, like I said earlier, it'd be like, hey, if you can't come, we totally understand. You can experience it in this time. But you're still, I mean, obviously, like looking at this, you're still making a shit ton of money off of opening weekend and just the opening when I'm pretty sure there's still a big chunk of people who are just going to wait for it to be on Disney Plus.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So,
and there are a lot of people who thought, I'm just seeing on the internet, there are a lot of people who thought it was on Disney Plus or was going to be on Disney Plus and were like confused. They're like, where's the movie? Like, why is it on Disney Plus? So I know there were still a decent amount of people that were like waiting for that.
It's because they don't listen to Needle in the Lens podcast.
It's because they don't listen to Needle in the Lens podcast. And
if they were listeners, active fans of the pod, they would know that movie was being strictly in theaters. Come on. You do better. Do better. Tell your friends. Tell your family. So that way they know.
It's a very interesting time we're living in.
Yes.
And I feel like this kind of debate is going to continue for at least the rest of the year, if not trickle into next year.
Right.
So yeah, we'll just have to stick around and see where this conversation goes. But since we're talking about Shang-Chi, what were your thoughts about the movie? How did you feel about the movie? Did it live up or live down to your expectations?
Honestly, I'm going to say I had no idea that it would still, like, I think it definitely still exceeded my expectations. And I had no idea how it was able to do that because if you didn't know, I was very, 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 very insanely hyped about this. Especially,
really? You
yes.
Were? No way.
What? Yeah, no way, right? For a second, I thought you were serious, but then I realized that insane amount of fucking sarcasm you had there.
Yeah. No, there was a lot.
But yeah, I was very excited for this movie, and especially after the red carpet premiere and hearing a lot of people's thoughts after that. And just also, like, I have it up right now, but just how well received it has been. 92% tomato meter and 98% audience score, which obviously, yeah, reviews are a whole thing in their own, but it's being insanely well received by just everyone, in all honesty. And I was like, dude, how is this going to live up to my expectations? I'm already like so fucking hyped about it. And you know what? It still exceeded my expectations. I had a fantastic time with this movie. I think I'm definitely still obviously very biased for very obvious reasons. But
yeah.
I think just has been one of the most exciting, and I think just like one of the most exciting Marvel movies I've seen in a while. Obviously, like Endgame's its own beast, but I mean, just like having gone back on a couple of movies and just looking at them, they don't feel as exciting as this. And I even look back to my theater experiences. While I enjoyed those movies, I don't feel the same way as I do about this movie. And like, look, hey, that could just go to show how much representation obviously matters. But just even on its own, it's a fantastic movie. The action is fucking awesome. The fight scenes. And I think a lot of this has to do with like the type of shit that I love to watch as a kid. I love to watch martial arts movies. As a kid, I was so into that shit. So all of the fight choreography, all of the actions very up my alley. So I was digging the shit so fucking hard. And it was so good. And it was beautiful, beautifully shot movie. And then obviously, like, I have my issues, and I know, like, we talked about this a bit off the podcast, but like some of the humor you said specifically doesn't land. I agree. Some of it felt a little forced, especially coming from Awkwafina. A lot of her character felt a little bit forced in my mind. A lot of the dialogue, which don't know if that was necessarily her or the writing of her character itself. Who knows? But I mean, that honestly I can say is really my only issue with the film itself. I think that the rest of it, you have a fantastic ensemble, amazing characters, very emotionally investing, and it's pretty heavy too. Like I
Yeah.
think a lot of it gets pretty heavy at times. So, I mean, I loved it. Fantastic. Definitely it's up there in terms of my favorite Marvel movies. It's up there. I'm not going to give an exact number as to what top
Right.
number it is in, but it is fucking up there.
I assumed just hearing you talk about it and like, yeah, I was like, no, this is up there for him. I know it's up there.
No, it is.
I also enjoyed it. I don't think I enjoy. Well, not. I don't think. I know I didn't enjoy it as much as you because you're like
this is
you're.
this is actually the other way around. It's usually you enjoy something a lot more than I did.
Yeah, that is usually how it goes. No, that's not to say I didn't enjoy this because I did enjoy this.
Of course,
and I
of course.
agree. I agree with you in a lot of ways. Like this is one of the MCU's more exciting releases in recent memory because I think it is such a strong departure from what we get a lot of times in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's simply just because one, I mean, it's a character we don't know, and I think he's kind of very much separated from a lot of the MCU as we know it right now.
Oh yeah.
So while this story is taking place in the MCU, there, like, obviously there are callbacks here and there, some of them bigger than others, but overall, you know, it doesn't feel like I'm in the MCU right now. I'm in a superhero movie. Like Captain America's gonna pop out any second. You know, like it's just like it feels like it's very committed to telling his story and servicing the MCU.
Exactly.
Is taking a back seat with this, which is definitely refreshing. And yeah, I think I had a really good time. Like you said, the action is phenomenal. Like some of the best action that we've gotten in the MCU.
Yeah, exactly.
And I also think like that one of my favorite things about it, aside the action, is really like the supporting cast. And
absolutely.
It's one of those. It reminds me a little bit of Black Panther in that way, because I feel like that movie similarly had a great like it was a good vehicle for T'Challa, but it also made you really fall in love with the entire cast of supporting characters, which is why now that Chadwick is gone, we're still able to get a Black Panther movie about everyone else because it's like created such a rich, cast of supporting characters. Which is really exciting because I think, yeah, like I said, that's one of the things I love about this movie. Like I think Jia Ling she's my girl.
Girl boss.
Like, she's
so hard.
I'm with it. Like Shang, you're cool, but I'm kind of rooting for Jia Ling in the Ten Rings to
that was pretty. She's definitely like a fantastic fucking character and such a great addition. I think like I keep forgetting the name of the mom, but she was great too. The limited amount of screen time she had in flashbacks, like and then that's the thing. It's Wu, bro, come on, fantastic.
It's a great family movie, like about about this family, and exploring that dynamic, which made it so interesting to me. And yeah, then there's this like kind of love story in the background with Wenwu and Shang's mom that I thought was also really interesting, even though we didn't necessarily get to see like a whole lot of that specifically, like just kind of that
even just the bits and pieces we got was phenomenal. It was
really interesting. And obviously like Tony Leung is Tony Leung, like come on, like she's amazing.
No questions.
So yeah, like I told you, I was like, I would literally watch a movie about their love story, like, and then I saw a tweet the other day that was like, wow, Wenwu was really like became a warlord just just to try and get this girl back. Like he was going wild. He was gonna get her.
He was going the distance.
And I saw a tweet. Someone was like, that sex must have been bomb because he was ready to. He was ready to decimate everything in his path,
unleash the gates of hell
back.
Yeah. And I think that like we're in a time, like I think especially like post Black Panther, I think like we're getting a time where Marvel's starting to really come into their own about villains, like for the most part, obviously. Right. I think we're getting some really, really good villains. I agree. But yeah, no, I think they're really coming into their own about making just like really compelling, really dynamic villains. And I think even though Wenwu was definitely an abusive dad, like just point blank period, you for a minute, even just for a slight minute, you forget about that and you kind of are like, well, yeah, I understand why he's doing this. It's like, I don't blame him. And like, obviously, like when he's going to attack Talo, he doesn't know that it's not his wife talking to him. Right. He doesn't know he's under.
Which is like, you do like you said, you're like, I kind of understand. Like,
it's like, yeah, I get it. Like you're doing the wrong shit, but I get it. And also, I do like how you bring up the idea of Black Panther, because I definitely, seeing the movie, there's definitely a couple similar, not even necessarily like story beats, but like elements of the story are a little similar. Because like obviously you have this place that is separate from the regular world, that is mystical in some sense. Right. And they have their whole civilization, and then there's some dope animals in it too. So boom. I mean, that's just kind of, I was kind of looking at that throughout, and I was like, this is I'm getting a few similar elements here and there, but
no, I can definitely see that. They're kind of separated off, protected from
the regular world.
Can't just get on in there easily. Because that's how it is. We gotta keep it away from these white people. We don't know what they will try to take anything. They will try to take anything.
I'm saying, man.
So yeah, it's a really great movie. I think one of the best things for me was that I didn't know that Ben Kingsley was going to be in this movie.
Oh yeah, that was so fucking great. Oh, I loved him. I loved having him back. Yeah. It was great. That he was where the humor worked, I'll say.
He was. He got some of the biggest laughs.
We could have gotten rid of Katie entirely. Or her character could have been much different. Didn't have to try to be funny. Because look, at the end of the day, if she was just there, just like chilling and not trying so hard to be funny, she probably would have been fine. And we have Ben Kingsley there just fucking being hilarious. Like the fucking spoilers, by the way. But the Planet of the Apes bit was that was so funny.
So good.
That was hilarious.
Whenever he looks like he's like laying down, he thinks he's dead, and he's like, come on. And then he just like wakes up and it's like, we're acting. And then what was the name of the flying pig? Starts with the M.
Not Milton. That's
not Milton.
That's what? Do we got? Is he on the IMDb? That's what I want to know. I feel like he's got to be, but like maybe not on the main page. Now I gotta find out.
I don't know why.
Because like someone had to voice Morris.
Yeah.
Morris. We love Morris. Morris plushies all the way. Honestly, they probably already have done it, and I gotta cop one soon. So.
Yeah.
Also, even though he was only in the movie for like very short bits, Andy Lee's stunt work as Death Dealer was pretty fucking fantastic too.
Yeah, and people were. I was like, I wasn't the only one that was like, I was expecting like a big reveal or something, or I don't know, something to really come from his character.
I'm not mad that we didn't get it though. We didn't need it.
We didn't need it. I just thought he was gonna have a bigger role, I guess.
I definitely thought we were gonna get a much bigger role. It was almost like shit. I can't even remember the character from Black Widow now.
Taskmaster.
It was almost like a Taskmaster kind of deal,
but not nearly as bad.
Not nearly as poorly handled.
Yeah,
I think
because
Death Dealer was much better handled.
Yeah, also, I don't think he has the type of reputation that Taskmaster.
Yeah, he's definitely not a much bigger character like Taskmaster.
And pushed to the forefront of like
all the marketing
and everything. Yeah.
We got like a bit of I think the amount of the amount of Death Dealer we got in promo was directly proportional to the amount we got him in the movie.
Yeah,
I think it made
I would agree.
Perfect sense. I was like, okay, obviously, and I think obviously probably seeing a bit like having seen Black Widow, I was maybe able to be like, okay, he's probably not. I mean, he's obviously not going to be the main villain. It's still going to be Wenwu's going to be the main villain. So having that expectation straightened out.
That is true.
But I think
I went into it knowing that Wenwu was going to be the villain. I think we all did.
But I also think they handled that better in the promo too, because like we didn't even see fucking what's his name from Black Widow. Again, can't even remember. Forgettable villain. By the way,
the guy that was
the Russian guy. Russian guy. Like we didn't even see him in the promos.
Sorry, Black Widow slander here.
Yeah, sorry. Hate to do it,
care. But I'm sorry. It just wasn't a good movie, but yeah, no, I think the villain worked well for me. I would have liked more of Wenwu. I only because like I do think that his backstory and him as a character is so interesting to me.
It is, and he's fantastic as it too.
I really could have taken more of that. I think the action was great too. I'm trying to make sure I get all of my things that I loved about it before I go into like some critiques I had, but
I wanna do Halloween now.
You want
I know I can't. I know I can't because like I'm broke as shit and like I would just end up getting a cheap costume. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. Like I wanna do like full cosplay. I also want to be in the second movie.
Comic-Con.
I also want to be in the second movie. So
oh wow. That's the campaign we're going for.
Yeah, right, I want to. Simu, if you see this, please. I've been hitting the gym, all right? I'm ready, okay? Please, all right? Get me in. I saw this TikTok about there's actually this Filipina superhero or Marvel hero.
Oh, I feel like I remember you telling me about this.
No, I think the one that I looked up was a different one, but I think there was one that I saw that I don't remember exactly what it was, but she swims very well. Bit of a stereotype Marvel, but hey or whomever it is. But I mean, hey, I am obviously not a woman.
You're not.
But I got cousins, bro. All right, I'll be on set.
You trying to put your cousins on?
I will. All right. Yeah. I will.
I mean, do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do.
Exactly. I will. I will, in fact, do what I got to do.
I'll support you in that journey. But yeah, really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was very good. I think what picked up for me once they left America, like that's when that first part I was like, oh, okay, like this is all right. It's all right.
The bus scene was cool, but I'd already seen half of it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I chose not to watch that. I stayed away from the TV spots and everything.
It was all over the place though, and I was like, I'm so hyped. I was
seeing like clips in here and there, and I was like, okay, I'm seeing parts of it here and there, but I want to wait to see the whole thing in full.
Yeah, and it was still worth it, by the way.
Yeah. And okay. As long as you were still satisfied by what you got to see, that's good.
I mean, like watching it on this tiny 27-inch monitor is nothing compared to the big screen. So I mean, hey.
And that's the thing. I'm just like, I think in general, just trying to now stay away from. That's just my mindset now. Like I'm just like I want to see less before I go into anything now. Like whether it's a movie or an album, like. I'm just like, less is more. Like, there's a new Last Night in Soho trailer that came out today. I was like, I'm not watching that. Also, because Edgar Wright tweeted and was like, there might be, if you feel like you've seen enough and you're already sold on the movie, then stay away from this because there might be more in this trailer than you want to see. And I saw some people tweeting that they watched the trailer and they're like, I saw way more than I feel like I need to see. And I was like, I am not going to watch that. Although, what's going to happen? It's probably going to be the new trailer that plays in theaters before movies.
There's no way. Do they usually do that though? Like, I feel like they usually have like I feel like they usually, like, when they have a theater spot trailer, like, they just stick with it for the entire run.
I don't know.
Fuck it, I guess I'm just not going to theaters, or I'll close my eyes. I am going to the theater this weekend, so I'll just close my eyes, cover my ears, I'm
definitely going to be back in theaters multiple times before that movie comes out, but
that's end of October, right? Shit, we have 2 whole months for that. Fuck.
Same day as Dune. Same day as Dune, actually.
Really?
Unless one of them moves, which
they're gonna play chicken. Who's gonna do it? I will go see Last Night in Soho first.
Really? Good for you.
Because I'm still debating on Dune whether I want to spite him and watch it on HBO Max.
I will be seeing Dune first. I got to. It'll probably be like,
maybe I'll just do a double feature.
That's the thing. I was thinking about doing that, but the thing is, for me, sometimes I'm picky with double features. Like, if it's 2 movies that I really kind of want to sit with and like, I don't know, just really pick apart. Like, sometimes I'll do a double feature. Like, I think I did a double feature for like Aquaman and like Vice or something.
Oh, okay.
I was like, these are just like,
they're too
whatever. But I feel like after I watch Dune, I'm gonna be like, wow, thoughts.
Yeah.
Same with Last Night in Soho. So I'll probably give them both their respective.
That's
maybe Thursday and Friday, or Friday and Saturday.
That's what I was thinking. That's fair.
But yeah, back to Shang-Chi. A couple critiques that I had.
Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready for these hate crimes.
First, like I did say, the humor wasn't really working for me, specifically the humor that was happening in like that first act of the movie. Like, it just wasn't really landing for me at all. And I was like, I'm sitting and thinking, I'm like, please, I want to like this. I want to like this so bad. Like, please. And obviously it got better throughout. And, I think like the writing got better, and obviously Ben Kingsley as Trevor was like pure comedy gold.
Pure comedy gold.
So that was good. My other thing, one of my biggest things is that, and I told you this off the pod, but just like I feel like I wish I came away from this more loving Shang-Chi as a character, and I think he's definitely really cool, but I really was just like, oh my gosh, like all these other characters are so interesting and have like really interesting backstories, and I'm just like so intrigued, and like Shang's backstory is also really interesting. I just think like I don't know, it's very focused on everyone else, and maybe I'm just more interested in them because I didn't get as much time with them. Maybe that's why. Right. And so there's like a more sense of like ambiguity, or like I want to know more about them, whereas I kind of know a lot about Shang already. But I think, I don't know, maybe I was just wanting him to have a little bit more of a
spotlight,
no, maybe just like a little more like personality flair,
okay,
like I can't necessarily, I don't know, like I'm thinking about personalities in the movie, like I don't know that I am like, oh, he has a very distinctive like,
right,
oh, that's something that Shang would say, like like I don't know that I necessarily have kind of that feeling, which was like a similar thing that I had with Captain Marvel to a much larger degree.
Right.
It was just like I didn't go away from that movie knowing entirely who he is. Like I know who he is, but I think I just wanted a little bit more personality from his character. He's like a straight man. And I don't mean that in like sexuality wise, but like I mean like you have a character in a show that plays the straight man, it's like Jim on The Office. You know, he's like
Yeah.
the, you know, like I'm the guy. Like everyone else around him is kind of very animated and has all these personalities, but he's kind of like level-headed, sort of stick it to you kind of guy. So I think I got that from Shang. So I just want in future movies to get a little bit more from him and his personality.
Right. And I think we will. I feel like
for sure. I'm sure.
I feel like he's definitely gonna have a lot more of that character arc and more character development. I think just a lot of this movie was world building, and I think that that's kind of where they're at right now. They're obviously like continuing to build upon the stuff that they already have, but like the MCU is in a bit of a soft reset post
for sure.
Endgame, and I guess technically post Far From Home.
Right.
So they're in a bit of a soft reboot period right now where they're rebuilding the world, building up new characters, new IP. So I think that they definitely had a lot to do in here to make Shang-Chi kind of like the Iron Man in a sense. I hate to like make that comparison, but like kind of the MCU going forward. And a lot of people have expressed that sentiment. Just being the first one of this new.
You mean like in terms of like origin story type?
Yeah, the first one in this new slate of what is the term? Phases in this new slate of phases. And I think he is gonna probably end up playing a pretty decently big role. Obviously backseating to already established characters. Like ones. Doctor Strange is probably gonna be one of the biggest deals, I feel. And then obviously Falcon as well, or Captain America.
Right. And I think like that's a thing with these characters that they introduce that you may not see their overall like MCU affecting potential at first. Later on down the line, there's gonna be something where it's like, oh, okay, like this is a big deal for him. Like take Ant-Man for example, who seems like, you know, he hasn't really necessarily
he wasn't a big deal character, but now
he's got Quantumania.
Exactly, we're dealing with the quantum realm, and that's the whole arc they want to go down. So that's a big deal now.
Big for him and the Wasp and setting up Kang and like, you know, so I think it'll definitely come with time. And already, you know, in the post credits, we're getting like, you know, we're getting our little tease for the future.
Exactly. Our little theory nuggets are going,
which, you know, is inevitable. I think like the first one was kind of pretty straightforward with Darling and the Ten Rings, which was like dope.
That was the second.
Nice. That was the second one.
That was the second. That was the end credit scene. The mid credit scene was,
and then the mid credits was Got you. So that one, the Xialing one, I was a fan of. Like I said to you, I was like, it's giving me Zuko and Azula vibes, which you have not seen Avatar: Last Airbender, which should be a crime at this point.
Well, what? It's on Paramount, right?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, it is. Fuck. Well, never mind. No, I don't have an excuse. I was gonna say I don't got Paramount.
They took it off Netflix, right?
I don't play World of Warcraft.
I think they took it off Netflix.
I think they do. I think they did probably.
It's still on Netflix. You have zero excuses.
Fuck me. You know how hard it is for me to watch shit. I'm gonna try.
But
you know what?
I think my biggest thing is just like I'm shocked you never saw it.
It was never
as a child.
It was never something that interested me. Like I just wasn't into it.
Especially you, because you're like I was so into like fighting martial arts and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but just I don't know and it was animated. I don't know. I never got into huge into anime that much. I'm like live action fighting shit.
When you talk about one of the best animated shows of all time, it's up there.
I know. And
so,
I know.
And even just like
maybe you know what? I'm gonna try. Keyword try. I'm not making any promises. I'm gonna try to start watching a few this weekend. Does that make you feel better?
Hey, you do it on your own time. Like you're 21 at this point. You know, I feel like it's like, you know, you've waited this long. There's no rush now.
Yeah. See, I got time. I got time. Aren't
But
they
also,
gonna
I
do
feel like,
another spinoff?
last year, whenever, because there was like last year during the pandemic, I feel like everyone was kind of getting back into
Everyone
it.
was
Was that
getting
this
back
year?
into it. No,
It was
it was
maybe
last year. I think it was last year because I
yeah,
feel
whenever
like
it
it.
came on Netflix, everyone
Yeah,
was like,
it popped onto the timeline a lot
yeah, there's a
around
big
then.
resurgence. So I
Everyone was
was
like,
like,
"Oh
oh,
shit!"
I would have thought you would have gotten into it then, or
Um,
whatever. But it's just you want
I'm
to talk about world building?
all right.
Come on, like this show. This show is like Game of Thrones for kids for me in terms of its world building and its
That's
scope and its
pretty big. That's pretty high praise
storytelling
there.
and like character development. Like I think it accomplished it. Like, and it's wild that it's done in such a digestible way where kids literally understand
Truth.
all these different tribes and nations and countries, and it's wild. It's wild. It's wild.
I will take your word for
I
it,
just
and I'll
had to
give it
take
a
a
shot.
little Avatar rant, only
No,
because I was saying the Jolling reminds me of Azula.
no, I get that. I will say though, to your point about uh Shang-Chi not having necessarily a distinct personality, I
Mhm.
can see where you're coming from. I think a lot of and this is kind of like a fucked up bias thing, but like a lot of my enjoyment of the character comes more from Simu than it does from the character itself. And a lot of it is
Gotcha.
very external, like just how he is, how I've seen how he is in
Right.
like interviews and like promotional stuff, and just like
Yeah.
how he just seems genuinely happy to be there. Which
Right.
a thing that made me really, really emotional
Mm.
was I saw a lot of people saying that if Chadwick were still here, like he would have been like so happy for Simu and they would have been like this.
Oh, I'm
And I'm
sure.
like,
Yeah, he would have.
I'm
He would have
a
been a
little
big.
fucked up inside about that. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, Chadwick was really great with everybody. I'm sure.
He
Like,
was. Fuck.
yeah, but no, I definitely understand that sentiment because I think knowing who an actor is or having a personal sort of uh like I'm not attachment, but you just
Enjoyment.
yeah,
Yeah.
personal enjoyment of who a person is outside of the character can definitely elevate
Yeah.
that person's character in a movie or TV show. So no, yeah, I totally get that. I totally get that. I'm hoping that more because I mean I do like Simu a decent amount. I don't have any like strong connection to him
Right.
as a person. Like I know he's good friends with this guy over at BuzzFeed, Steven, who does like some of the Worth It videos.
Right.
So like that is kind of cool to me, that connection. Like I saw a couple videos he did with them. But yeah, I don't have any like strong connection to him yet. So um yeah, that's just I'm hoping his character a little more and we get a little more character and subsequent um what's the word I'm looking for? Subsequent
Films.
appearances.
Appearances. Yeah. Okay.
Um yeah, and hopefully I hope that it's not too long before we get to see him again.
Yeah, I know.
Uh
It feels like it might be though, because I mean, we don't have a team up movie coming anytime soon.
no, not at all. And I was actually just looking at that the other day because I'm looking at the schedule. It was kind of like before we would get an Avengers movie around every 3 years. Obviously, the
Yeah.
exception being whatchamacallit, Infinity War and Endgame, which came
Yeah.
back to back. But since the first Avengers movie, it was kind of Avengers 1, 3 years later, Age of Ultron, 3 years later, Infinity War. So
So if we're looking at that, then maybe 2023, 2024 then?
but the thing is, don't we already I'm pretty sure we already have the slate up to that point. Or at least up to
No,
2023.
22. We have 2020. Oh, 2023. Yeah, I think the latest thing we have is Guardians? Question mark?
Yeah, Guardians 3 is pretty late. Um yeah, May 5th, 2023.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've already got the slate out for a decent
and then
chunk of time.
I mean, there still very well could be a team up movie end of 2023, but it's looking like if they're gonna do Fantastic Four first, it wouldn't be until 2024.
We still Blade. I don't think has a release date yet either.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a long time before we get another team up movie.
Yeah. So we're gonna be waiting for a little bit.
A bit too long. Why'd you point that out? Now I'm upset.
Here's my thing. I'm good with it only because I am interested to see them build out this new cast of characters, and it's really interesting.
There's a lot that they have to do here.
Yeah, there's just so much.
Wait a second. Thor: Love and Thunder comes out in Australia first?
I think I did see that. Which, you know what? Kind of makes sense. You know, with Taika and
we're going to Australia, all right?
Chris.
We're going to Australia. I'll book our flight now. It's cheaper if we book it now.
Probably, yeah. You're not wrong. But yeah, I was like, you know, I bet you Taika and I mean Taika's from New Zealand, but you know, it's kind of, you know.
Yeah, that region.
Taika and Chris are probably like, no, we're bringing this one home to y'all.
Yeah.
This is for y'all.
And that's a whole week beforehand.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's a long time, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little fucked up, but all right. All right.
What was I about to say? I lost my whole train of thought.
Team up.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that.
When we're gonna see.
Oh yeah.
Simu next.
I'm cool with not getting a team up movie for a while, only because there's literally so much other
there's so much other shit to eat,
and I'm like, I just want to see these characters. I want to see Ironheart. I want to see She-Hulk. I want to see Miss Marvel. Like, I want to see Eternals. Like, I'm so interested in all these other characters that I'm like, you know what? It's fine for now.
No, it's definitely fine. It's just it is a little bit like it's a little bit upsetting because it's like, okay, well, a lot of these characters are gonna have to wait before we're able to see them again. But that
is true.
That's the tough bit of it. But honestly, it's like they're doing so much more now. I mean, you're constantly gonna be eating. Like, we're still getting Hawkeye this year. That is insane.
Yeah, in November.
And we're still getting Miss Marvel this year.
We are, hopefully.
Supposedly. Yeah. I hope so too, but like, damn, that's crazy. They're going in so hard.
Yeah. They're going in really hard. We're going to get a lot of content. And yeah, we're being fed even now.
We are. We're eating good. It was a little bit worrisome that we weren't going to.
We still had a what if episode today. We're gonna have to talk about that.
Yep.
We've been talking about Shang for a while, but
you know what? We can go ahead and hop into what if real quick then before we quickly touch on our last topic. Then we'll talk about what if right now. Then since we're on the subject of Marvel, what's up? If you didn't watch this week's episode, spoilers. Go ahead and skip ahead. Yeah. Okay. So what did you think of this week's episode?
Great. I loved this episode.
You loved it?
It was my favorite episode since probably the T'Challa one.
Are you rating it over it or no?
I don't know if I'm rating it over it, but I do think that they're pretty close in terms of how much I kind of enjoyed them.
Yeah.
And I mean, I enjoyed the Doctor Strange episode quite a bit too. But this episode, I think, like, and I knew whenever they were doing zombies, whenever I found out that was happening, I was like, this is going to be dope.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be dope. There's just no way it's not. Like, the concept in itself is already so awesome. So I guess seeing it finally happening was cool. And yeah, I think the way it played out and how it kind of takes place right at the kind of start of where Infinity War would be.
Yeah.
Was really interesting. And seeing how they also tied in, Ant-Man and what happened in Ant-Man and the Wasp as the kind of cause of the the zombie outbreak.
Right.
Was really cool. And yeah, seeing some of these characters together in this kind of environment, I loved. I thought that, I don't know, the story flowed really well for me. It was engaging from beginning to end. My only gripe was with Vision, I guess. I don't know. That was just kind of like, I was just like, is this entirely in line? Like, would Vision sacrifice the well-being of the whole world for Wanda? You know? That was kind of iffy for me. Like, it seemed like Wanda might do that for Vision.
Oh, of course. I mean, she literally did that. Yeah,
do that
she literally did that.
But I was like, I don't know. I don't know about that one. But I did think, overall, I really liked the episode. So funny. Paul Rudd as the head of Paul Rudd. So good.
Yeah.
So good.
No, that was good.
Yeah. No, I really love this episode. What about you?
I really enjoyed it as well. I'm on the fence as to whether I like it more than the Doctor Strange episode or not. I think kind of my favorite thing was that, like, it was a very interesting cast of characters we got in this one. It was definitely a very, very, like, interesting mix-up that we got. I think it's like a group of people that I never thought we would have seen interact as closely as we did in here. I think, like, you got Happy, you got Bucky, Sharon, Okoye, Spider-Man. Like, this is a very, and then Hope. Yeah. It's a very interesting group of characters that, like, all have been very loosely connected to one another. And I feel like, surprisingly enough, the closest connection that I can draw between them is between Bucky and Okoye. Like, that's it, really. They're the only two who, like, have a much stronger connection than the rest of the characters. The rest of them are kind of like, well, we're the gang, I guess, which makes sense because in every zombie movie, it's never like, oh, we're high school buddies that go way back. No, it's it's the end of the fucking world. We're just scrambling to get whatever group of people we can get together. Think like The Walking Dead, like stuff like that. It makes sense. So when you have this weird oddball cast of characters, it makes perfect sense in that context. So I really like that. Paul Rudd obviously was hilarious. And I do think that this episode was probably the most proof of concept of, like, what I believe the show should be.
Yeah.
I think that you had a very small change. Everything led up to the same thing. You had one change that spiraled completely out of control. And I think that was executed perfectly. Yeah. I think you have Janet is a zombie in the quantum realm. She infects Hank. Hank infects Ant-Man. And then boom, it just spirals out of control to fucking zombie Thanos, by the way, which would love to get part 2 on that.
Yeah, I was really thinking, I was like, I need to see the rest of this episode.
Like, is season 2, are we going to get part 2 for some of the episodes? Because our 2 favorite episodes need part 2s. The T'Challa Star-Lord episode needs a part 2 because we need to know what happens when Ego visits Quill at fucking Dairy Queen. And we need to know what happens with zombie Thanos. All right? We need to know. So
that's dope.
I think this is the biggest proof of concept of what this show should be. And I definitely think we need more like this.
Yeah.
I think the first episode, we got a feel for what it could be. I think the second episode, we got just a fantastic story that made sense. The third episode was weird. Episode 4 was fantastic, but the one thing that changed was a bit too much. Like there was a lot that was different.
Yeah, I can see that there.
Whereas this one really was like the perfect example of like butterfly effect.
Yeah. I think that first episode is really, it's just like got left in the dust.
Yeah. I still think I like it more than the Fury's Big Week one.
Really?
Yeah. I think just looking at it, I just think like it was an enjoyable episode more so. Like the twist in episode 3 was weird and made
the twist
no
in episode
sense.
3 was like, and
like it's just like it felt a little draggy now that I think about it. Like it's just like and just the way that it went, I did not really like.
Okay, teach their own.
That's personally my least favorite one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's opinions are opinions, but no, I really love this episode. I was like, why didn't Tom Holland come back?
Yeah, I know. I think it has to be a Sony thing. There's no way it's not a Sony thing.
You think?
It's
because he's already in the episode. I mean, Spider-Man's in the episode, so it can't be like.
It has to be like a Tom Holland contract thing. It has to be a Tom Holland specific contract thing.
Maybe.
Which also, Sony things aside, apparently we're gonna finally get any Spider-Man based movies are going to eventually come to Disney Plus, which means we are gonna get Venom, the original trilogy, the Amazing trilogy, and we're gonna get Morbius on Disney Plus as well.
God, I forgot that's happening.
Yeah, apparently, right?
Everything coming out of Sony regarding Spider-Man right now, or
not? I don't know.
A greater Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
I'm not with it. I'm sorry.
What? Not even Venom? Did you not like Venom?
Definitely not Venom.
What?
Definitely not Venom.
What?
The first
I
Venom
thought the first one was
whatever.
Fine. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, it was whatever. It was forgettable. That's my thing. It was forgettable.
I would disagree.
Now that I'm seeing the previews for the sequel, get me out. It looks the trailers look so bad. I hate the type of like the comedy they're going for with this. Like they're really trying to make this a very comedic movie, and like that's not.
I think they need to ditch that for this one. Yeah,
but they're not. It seems like they're leaning into it even more. And this Woody Harrelson's wig looks absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And he became Carnage because he took a little bite out of Tom Hardy. That's what.
No, I think I don't remember what it was. I thought he already was Carnage.
But then he like takes a little bite. He like in the trailer he takes a little bite of Tom Hardy, and he's like, "That doesn't taste like regular blood." And then he like it cuts to him, and he's like going wild, and like boom, now he's Carnage.
I'm rocking with. I enjoyed the first one enough to give this one a chance.
I mean, I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it. I'm not gonna be happy about it, but I'm gonna watch it.
Well, now we know if Noah's review comes out scathing, it's bias.
It's not bias. It's simply I'm going off of what I saw from the first movie. What I'm currently seeing now, I could go in the theater and it could be, I could be genuinely surprised at how much I enjoy it.
Exactly.
Maybe the comedy works for me. Maybe, I don't know, but we will see.
But yeah, no, it's definitely a Sony thing that Tom Holland wasn't allowed, because there's no way he wouldn't. Like, why wouldn't he? You know?
I don't know, man.
No, realistically speaking, why wouldn't he? Tell me why he would. Give me one good reason.
I can't tell.
Why Tom Holland,
why he
second biggest Marvel fan, only after Simu, by the way. Yeah. Second biggest Marvel fan wouldn't want to be in the show. It's got to be a Sony contract.
I couldn't tell you. It could possibly be a Sony contract thing, and he's only signed on for a certain amount of appearances in the MCU.
Yeah.
Which would make sense.
Just Disney just buys. Actually, no, I'm not gonna advocate for that.
Jesus Christ!
I was gonna say I'm not gonna advocate for that, but
God.
But yeah, fuck it, just buy Sony already. Jeez.
I mean,
no, because actually,
I wouldn't be surprised if it happens.
I was gonna say, because then would we still get This is out of your wheelhouse, but will we still get PlayStation's Spider-Man games?
Why wouldn't you?
Because Disney's not going to buy the entirety of the company of Sony. Obviously, they would buy the Sony Pictures division.
I feel like
also, or they. I mean, they can't. Never mind. They're not going to buy it in the entirety of Sony Pictures. That's even too ridiculous for Disney. But like to buy the Spider-Man franchises isn't out of the question, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, probably not. But also, Sony's not gonna. They're not gonna give.
They're not going to. They're gonna be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, no, they're not doing that. But yeah, that's what we thought about. I'm still the Vision thing to me. Still, didn't sit right with me.
It's weird.
He was gonna he was just feeding Wanda T'Challa.
Yeah,
that doesn't
sound like him.
Work for me entirely.
Maybe
it feels
crazy.
out of character. And it's like, I know it's supposed to be like, oh, the things you do for love. But like
he's a fucking robot. Can we not are we forgetting that he's a robot?
But he's not that robot.
I guess.
He's
no, but I'm saying
robot is
no. I'm saying he's a robot.
It's a little bit.
He wouldn't do that because he's a robot. Like he functions.
I thought you were saying like he's just a robot. He's just beep boop.
No, he functions at like a semi-programmable level.
Yeah, like he's smart. Like he's simply not going to feed T'Challa to Wanda.
Yeah, even when he was a fucking figment of goddamn Wanda's imagination manifested into reality. He was
concerned about the people in the neighborhood.
That's so out of character. The only thing you could possibly genuinely argue for is that like the zombie apocalypse somehow made him crazy. That's it.
Maybe. And even that's a reach.
That's a hard reach.
Yeah. No, that's the only part of the episode that I was like,
no. I was a little bit about that.
I just remember that part where Okoye kills Falcon.
That was your friend.
And
Sorry.
Bucky's like, I should be sad, but I'm not.
It's just like whatever.
That's funny. That's funny.
That was
but yeah, I really like this episode. I don't know what next week's is. Hopefully it's good.
I think wasn't there a thing that supposedly this week was supposed to be Party Thor, but then they switched it to zombies at the last minute? I don't know. But I mean, we'll see. I feel like if that's true, then we will probably get Party Thor this week.
Oh yeah, I'm sure at some point.
I don't know. I guess like I'm just kind of whatever about that one. That one's like, okay.
We'll see. But I'm enjoying What If so far more than I thought I would.
I am. It's getting a lot better now.
Yeah, it's definitely getting finding its stride.
Yeah.
So
I guess I'm happier than if we would have gotten like seemingly the three best ones right off bat. You know?
Yeah.
Like what? Yeah. There's 9 episodes, right? So there's 3 more left? Or 4 more left, right? I don't remember.
I don't even know what episode this was.
This was episode 5.
Oh, gotcha. So we shouldn't have too much longer left.
Yeah. So we're about at the halfway mark, I think. So
gotcha.
Yeah, we shall see. But Zombie Thanos with 5 Infinity Stones, my guy. What? How? We'll see.
Time will tell. Maybe not.
That it will.
That story.
Maybe it will. That I would be pissed if we don't get. I need a part 2. I need a part 2 of that.
And hopefully we get it.
Hopefully we do.
It's been good. And it's got me just what if. You gotta ask yourself a lot of what if questions. And another interesting what if that's happening currently is what if Drake decided to release a Kanye song?
Yeah.
Andre 3000.
And what if it did actually happen, which it fucking did. Okay, so obviously CLB dropped. We can get into our thoughts on that later. But in kind of a show of force, I guess, I don't know, Drake leaked a Kanye and Andre 3000 song that was cut from Donda called Life of the Party.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
I don't know why he thought that would be a good idea.
Why?
I'm sorry, you're gonna put out a song that has two of even unarguably two of the GOATs.
It was a wild move.
Weird mental gymnastics as to why that would benefit you. But yeah, he dropped it because he's gonna be like, oh well, yeah, I got this track, and then it's like
Kanye's verse is a diss.
Yeah. So he dropped Kanye's diss towards
himself.
I don't know. What kind of mental gymnastics do you have to take to make yourself think that is a good idea?
I saw some people being like, oh, maybe he was just trying to show Kanye, like, you have a mole in your camp. But like, I feel like he could have done that in a
by
way
not
that
releasing a fantastic
make him
song.
Look so bad.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was Fantano's title for the video he did covering it was the best song Drake ever released. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. It's like, why, like, what? How are you making Kanye look bad?
Yeah.
By releasing a fire song.
Yeah. And also, Andre is apparently pretty upset about it.
That was, and that was the very first thing I thought about whenever I saw that this song dropped. I saw the song drop. They said Andre's on it. It leaked. And I said, oh, no. Because Andre 3000 is extremely, extremely protective over what verses he chooses to come out and be released. And I remember reading for the for his verse on Anderson's album, apparently he sent it over, or he sent over a couple different. He kept changing it apparently over time, and he keeps sending Anderson different verses. And then at the last second, when they were like getting ready to release the album, Andre was like, "Actually, no, I want to take my verse off. Like I want to take it back." And Anderson .Paak was like, dude, like, please, no, this is such a good verse. Like, stop. He's just
Please stop playing with me.
Like, Andre would, and like, we've heard the verse now, and it's amazing. And the fact that he would be like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. Like, this, he's something else. So I just,
he's next level perfectionist.
He is. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, I know Andre is somewhere. He's just pissed right now. He's just like, I can't believe this came out against my will, and that he's gotten caught in this childish beef.
Yeah.
Between Drake and Kanye. But he had some words to say about this, and
So he said it's unfortunate that Drake leaked his unreleased collaboration with Kanye West. All the details that we mentioned, he released it on his Sirius XM station or some shit.
Yeah, it was like his some OVO radio thing that he got.
But and I think apparently, I don't know if this article is going to touch on it, but apparently like Andre didn't know about the Drake diss originally. Like that wasn't on this track.
Yeah, it's in his, I think they have his statement here, and he talks about it.
So he says, a few weeks ago, Kanye reached out to me about being part of the Donda album. I was inspired by his idea to make a musical tribute to his mom. It felt appropriate to me to support the Donda concept by referencing my own mother who passed away in 2013. He told Variety. We both share that loss, and I thought it was a beautiful choice to make a clean album, but unfortunately I didn't know that was the plan before I wrote and recorded my verse. It was clear to me that an edited clean format of the verse would not work without having the raw original also available. So sadly I had to be omitted from the original album release. Makes sense. He continued that the version of the song he initially wrote, his lyrics to did not contain the Drake diss. Track I was even wrote to didn't have the diss verse on it, and we were hoping to make it more focused on offering for the Donda album, but I guess things happen like they are supposed to. It's unfortunate that it was released in this way, and two artists that I love are going back and forth. I wanted to be on Certified Lover Boy too. I just want to work Those people inspire me. Hopefully I can work with Kendrick on his album. I'd love to work with Lil Baby, Tyler, and Jay-Z. I respect them all. And I remember when this statement came out, it was trending that Big Boy was trending. I was like, you don't want to work with Big Boy?
Yeah, everyone was like, "Hey, why don't you have Big Boy to listen?" It's like we're never hearing from Outkast again.
Yeah,
at this point,
suppose
I'm just
not.
like,
but
I don't think it's happening.
Yeah, it's not. But that's so fucked, Drake. Like, come on.
Yeah, it
like,
is.
I'm sorry. How petty do you have to be, like, for this? Like, and this doesn't even get you anywhere. Like,
it doesn't, and it's like
you gain little to nothing from this.
He didn't gain anything. All it did is make him look bad,
like more of a
and
clown.
also you upset Andre 3000, dude.
Yeah, like,
come on,
bro, you're
man.
not getting that verse anymore.
You upset the actual greatest rapper of all time.
Yeah,
come
like,
on.
How are you gonna do that?
It's
my guy.
It's not a good look.
Not a good look, Sweaty. Just a reminder, this is not a good look.
Yeah, and he hasn't really said anything about it. And the thing that's interesting about this is that it seems like this, and I talked about this in maybe not the last episode, the episode before, about how this whole beef is just like kind of boring to me. Only because it just feels very childish. Like, at least with the Pusha beef, it was very like, I'm here, I'm gonna drop a track and I'm gonna come at you, and then I'm gonna drop a track and I'm gonna come at you, and then Pusha's like, boom, I'm gonna drop the track, I'm gonna end this all, and I'm gonna empty out everything about you. And it's like, okay, this is some serious damage. Nothing besides like Kanye doxing Drake, which, like, obviously we talked about, not cool, but even that is like, it's really petty. And like, y'all are rappers, like I said, go to the booth and write a song. Obviously Kanye did write a diss, but it wasn't even like, there's some cool bars here and there, but as a diss track, it's not that strong of a diss. Which is like, I guess in a way to be expected almost. Like, Kanye doesn't strike me as, I guess, the type that could just really go in on a diss track. Like, I think he's capable. Like, he's a petty guy. Like, he's pretty petty.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's capable of going in the same way that, like, obviously Pusha is capable of going in. So I think it kind of also just like, Drake, why did you release your own, like, a diss against yourself?
Yeah, wow. Like, that's so dumb. Like,
he's like,
how does that cross your mind as a good idea? On his
own. Like, he's trying to fuel his own beef.
And it's like,
in a way that really just feels like, it feels promotional. Like, it feels like I need people talking about me. And then, but now it's like,
he already shifted the conversation. People are talking about Andre 3000. People are talking about Kanye on that song. Because the conversation was already shifting more towards Drake. Like,
yeah.
Like everyone's talking about Certified Lover Boy. So it's like, he didn't need to do anything. And that's the biggest thing at the end of the day. Like, this subsection of the Drake and Kanye beef was completely and wholeheartedly started by Drake and perpetuated by Drake.
Yeah.
For his own,
Certified Lover Boy.
And look, the shots on Trippie Redd song, whatever, hey, it started, Kanye West is becoming the Joker, whatever, and it's making this whole big deal. I mean, at the end of the day, we didn't really get much of anything else out of it. I don't think.
No, we didn't.
Like, I can't even remember if there's anything about Drake on Donda. Like, much of anything.
There's nothing about Drake on Donda. There's some lyrics you could look at on Certified Lover Boy and be like, okay, this could potentially be about Kanye, but like,
and it's like,
he's doing this on his own. Like,
he is, and he doesn't need to. He's the biggest fucking artist in the world. Like, and it's starting to seem like, even though, and look, I'm gonna sound fucking crazy for saying this, right? It seems like Kanye West is the one taking the high road.
In a way.
In a way, yeah. In a very abstract way, because there's nothing really that Kanye, aside from doxing him, which obviously not cool. But
Right.
you know, aside from that, like there's nothing really in the music that's really perpetuating it on his end that I can see, aside from this track, obviously.
Yeah.
But Drake's the one perpetuating it. And he's the biggest artist in the fucking world. He shouldn't. He should just be like, whatever. He should ignore it. He should be like,
Yeah.
and he should be like, you're below me. This doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, I'm still making money.
I'm going to put up the numbers.
Yeah,
like,
I'm still putting up the numbers.
Like, he still sold more than Donda.
Yeah.
Which, obviously, you can track that up to possibly Donda being released on a Sunday, which I'm sure affected the numbers. But, like, it's still like you didn't need this.
None of this needed to happen.
You didn't have to go to these links. And I just, like, I don't know. It seems like he's just kind of insecure in a way, like about
yeah, absolutely.
his album and how it was going to perform, because he's like, I need to take shots at Kanye to get people talking about me. Like, and it's like no one's talking now people are talking about Kanye. We're talking about Kanye and Andre and how that turned out, and the bars that Kanye had on there that were kind of dope, like where he had the bar about I made 808s, so I'm everybody's dad. Like, that was dope. And it's like, now you're taking the conversation away from yourself.
Yeah.
What did I legitimately don't know, because there's no way he heard the song and went, this is trash. This is trash.
And
I gotta release this.
At the end of the day, like, Drake stans are the hardest copium motherfuckers ever.
They are.
Like, no,
there's still people that are delusional that think he was Pusha.
Yeah, like they are so high off that copium. Like, there's no reason to fucking perpetuate this beef. Like, because no matter what, you could literally fart, Drake. You could fart on the mic for an hour and a half. And they'd be like, yo, this is fucking fire, bro.
Yeah. And there's only like 3 artists that could do that. It's like him,
Ariana Grande.
Oh, I wasn't even going to say Ariana. I was going to say him, Kanye, and Frank Ocean.
No,
could do anything on a track and people are going to eat it up.
I guess so. Okay. I'm going as far as to say
Kanye
literally
did he scoop.
Okay, but like that's still hilarious though.
That is
it's hilarious.
But like
in context, because Drake wanted that beat, that is hilarious. I'm not even a fucking big Kanye fan. Like, that's fucking funny,
I personally find that song to be quite enjoyable, even unironically.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same fucking page about that, because like,
no, that beat,
the
beat alone is fire enough to carry the song, no matter what Kanye did on it.
I don't give a shit that he's saying poopity scoop. Like, that's so good. Unironically good.
Yeah. But no, yeah, Drake, this was an L. And this whole Kanye beef, you've taken only L's.
On L's. Yeah.
Kanye really hasn't even had to do a whole lot.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he's put in the least amount of effort into this and still has managed to come out on top.
Yeah. No, and I would have argued that in the beginning when we did our first episode on this, I would argue that Drake was winning because Kanye was going crazy. Kanye was posting the screenshot of the group chat. Kanye was doxing his fucking house. Like, he was going crazy, and it was visibly getting to him. So at that point, I would have said Drake was winning because he got to him. But then when Drake kept going, like, he should have quit while he was ahead.
Yeah. Like, after Donda dropped, after we got
what the fuck did we even talk about last week? I don't even remember.
We just talked about the album cover. I don't think we actually talked about Kanye.
Okay.
But we talked about Donda. That was.
We did talk about Donda. Okay, so it was that was a very loose part too. But
yeah, but like, even I feel like once I heard the third listening party, because that's what I was saying in the first thing. I was like, if there's nothing in the third listening party, then this beef is just kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Like, if he doesn't address this, and third listening party came, there were no comments about Drake. Donda came out, there were no comments about Drake. That should have been the end of it. That should have been the end of it. Because clearly Kanye...
Drake could have taken that as a hardcore win. It was like, he's not even going to fire back.
But I guess once Drake found out, oh, there's this track. What if, you know what is going to be so wild to me? I feel like Drake was hoping he could release this track. People would be like, oh, Kanye's taking shots at Drake. And then he would respond to the diss
that he put
released.
Out himself.
That's like, the only thing that makes sense.
I don't think we would have ever heard this song if Drake didn't release it.
Oh, no, we definitely wouldn't have.
We never would have.
You know, and people were saying apparently this song played at the first listening party. Well, the listening party before the first listening party, actually, which was a private Las Vegas listening party that phones were not allowed inside. And some people call it like listening party 0 because it was like not necessarily one of the like big ones. This song played and had a different Kanye verse on it, which was apparently more centered around his mom, which now would make a lot of sense next to Andre's verse. That is, of course, amazing.
Yeah,
which goes without saying, but it's a beautiful tribute to his mom that fits beautifully. That would have fit beautifully on an album about Kanye's mom, but I think seeing what we got, I don't know how much it would have fit on there, only because a large amount of Donda isn't actually about Kanye's mom, which is a whole other thing. But like, it's a beautiful track. And I think had Kanye kept it the same way, it would have been good. But no, I don't think we would have heard this song. It would have literally just been left in the vault and the beef would have been done. And
Drake could have walked away with an easy win. But then he shot himself in the foot and in the thigh and in the dick.
Certified lover boy for you.
Exactly. Fucking, I don't know. But
amongst all the chaos, we did get the long-awaited certified lover boy.
Yes, that we've been waiting for since January because it was apparently supposed to drop then, and now it's here. And
what are your thoughts on
it? On my first listen, I thought compared to Scorpion, I would have put it a little bit better than Scorpion. Still, that's two of his worst projects, but looking back now, there's more to enjoy off Scorpion than there is on here. And I feel like there's more notable things on Scorpion than there are on here. There's nothing. Like, there's not a hit on here. There, in my mind, and obviously, like, the times are going to tell. But Girls Want Girls is only trending because people are making fun of Drake for calling himself a lesbian.
Right.
I will say I enjoy Way Too Sexy unironically.
Okay.
I think it's dumb, but I enjoy it because I guess it's a little more ironically, but like I think I like the idea of sampling that song originally.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I think what Future does on the track is nice. I like that.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Giveon on In the Bible is good as well, but the rest of the track is kind of meh. I think the 21 Savage track is good.
Okay.
I think that one's a good one, and I think, if I remember correctly, the Lil Wayne and Rick Ross track was good too. I enjoyed that one as well. But just I don't foresee anything out of this being big. Like, I don't foresee any of this, like, being considered any bit timeless. Like, none of this is gonna last in his discography. I would argue some of the tracks off of Scorpion would. Like, what? God's Plan was on Scorpion, right?
God's Plan, he did.
That's timeless.
He also threw,
In My Feelings was in there, right?
In My Feelings and Night.
That's timeless.
Granted, those, I feel like, I guess they're on the album, but they were singles that came out decent, especially God's Plan.
Yeah, no.
That came out a decent bit before.
I think that's the one thing though that pushes Scorpion a little bit over this is that like it had singles that were hyped up, whereas the rest of the album there was something. Was it Nonstop was on there, right? That wasn't a single.
Nonstop was not a single.
Yeah, that popped off a decent bit, even though I found it boring. And that light skin bar is fucking terrible.
Can't believe we let him get away with that.
Why? Why do we let Drake get away with things? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
He got away with the light skin bar. We can't let him get away with the lesbian bar. We can't.
But we're letting him. It's happening. It's happening.
It is happening. It is happening. Am I wrong?
It's fucking happening. And I swear to God, like the memes are happening and obviously everyone's clowning on him for saying it. But, and I mean, that's not even to like, look, I hate to be a fucking lib here, but like, the song's kind of a little bit problematic if you think about it.
No, it is. Yeah.
We're doing lesbian / bisexual fetishizations in 2021. Like, I have not heard a single person talk about that.
It's definitely that song doesn't go over well. Definitely.
Yeah, like it's like, oh man, I hate to say it, but like y'all dragged fucking what's his face from One Direction harder for his shit. That fucking Liam or one of them.
I don't
might have been Liam.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, no, one of them had a song that was pretty fetishizy towards bisexual women.
Got you.
But
got him out of there.
Yeah, they were like, bro, this ain't it. And like, but I have not heard anything about anyone saying shit about this. So I don't know. That bar is just terrible regardless.
Yeah.
But it's also pretty problematic. Just a reminder, Sweaty, not a good look. But I mean, Lil Baby did his thing on that, even though he's still rapping about the same shit, which is like, that's not cool. But yeah, I mean, he did this thing. I'm really growing on Lil Baby a lot more lately.
He's definitely come a long way.
Yeah, he really has. I may need to give My Turn another listen, because like
might
need to.
But
and Yeba's Heartbreak was good, but that's just because Drake wasn't on it.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I'm pretty sure I liked a couple of tracks off of here, but like I think the ones that I mentioned are
the ones you were really rocking with.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The only one I actually like physically went and liked was the Lil Wayne and Rick Ross one. But the other ones that I mentioned, I enjoyed a decent bit too.
Got you.
And yeah,
nice.
Also that whole, I don't know if you've seen that whole meme circling around about like February 19th being the day of the glow up. That's such like a bad Photoshop, guys. Come on, don't believe that shit.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's this thing that like it's you know those Genius screenshots where it has the picture and then it's the lyric. They're saying it's that, like that's the lyric, but Millie Bobby Brown's birthday's on February 19th and she's gonna turn 18. It's like, look, there's a lot of creepy shit you can dock Drake on. You don't have to fake shit. I'm sorry. And like we said this shit about like a bunch of people. Like you don't have to fake shit about disgusting people. Like just
when there's already stuff
just
out there,
bring
just
the facts. Like
already out there.
I remember they were doing shit about Trump like during the 2016 election, like fucking boy, there was that whole bit of like, it was the fake interview where it's like, if I were to run, I'd run in the Republican Party because they're so stupid. They believe anything that Fox News tells them. And he never fucking said that when there's like plenty of shit that he had said that you could dock him on. Like when there's fucking gross ass people, like there's no need to lie.
Yeah.
Just bring the actual facts because they speak for themselves.
You're not wrong. Are not
like Drake
wrong.
has done and said so much creepier shit. Like that time he brought that 17-year-old girl on stage and he was like fucking kissing her neck and shit.
Yeah, that was weird.
And then like he found out she was 17. He was like, you're gonna make me get in trouble. And then he was still going for it. Cause I'm sorry, look, if I'm performing and I bring a girl on stage, right? And I find out she's 17, I'll be like, get the fuck up off my stage. We're not having this right now. We're not, get the fuck up off my stage. And I'd be rude about it. I'm sorry, but I'm not getting caught. I'm not getting caught slipping like that. That's not okay.
It's not. I mean, I feel like the first thing is just you don't do something like that in the first place.
I mean, yeah, obviously, but like it's like a concert cultural thing.
Right.
Especially if you're a certified lover boy heartthrob like Drake.
Yes. Now, after all, let me give my thoughts.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. I have a lot to say.
I can tell. And you know, I actually like this album.
Yeah, I know. I saw your fucking rating this.
I like this album. I thought it was enjoyable, honestly. And I mean, I've seen a lot of people are like, this is whatever. And you know, it's like, man, I guess if you feel that way, you feel that way. But I enjoyed a decent amount of tracks on here. I was genuinely shocked that I enjoyed it. And I do personally probably put it above Scorpion, at least right now. Because Scorpion, for me, the first half of Scorpion is almost there's almost nothing there for me.
Yeah, it's it's all duds.
Like,
but I think just like just to my point, even just in the grand scheme of things, I really don't foresee much of anything off this album being a mainstream hit. Or like,
I think Way Too Sexy definitely has that potential.
It does, but also like it's way too like poorly received as well. Like the general consensus on that song I've seen is people saying that any Drake fan that says they like this song is hardcore off the copium.
I have not seen everybody saying that. I've seen people genuinely saying they like the song too.
That's what I've been saying, though.
Because
that's what I've been saying.
It is,
and I like it. That's I said I like it.
The reason that I like this song is because I thought this was I was expecting an album full of tracks like this, which is why after hearing the album now, I don't like the cover art. Whereas before I was saying that I think the cover art brings something interesting. I think if we'd gotten more songs on this album like Way Too Sexy that were a little more tongue-in-cheek and self-aware and having fun and making a kind of meme of Drake himself, which is what I feel like Way Too Sexy is doing.
Yeah.
I think this cover art could have been a lot better, but because you hear a song like Way Too Sexy, you see a cover art like this, I'm like, that tracks, you know? But that's really the only song on the album that kind of, kind of has a kind of playful vibe to it. Like that has a certified lover boy vibe. The title of this album and the album that we got, to me,
are not the same.
They're not the same. I can't say that there's anything here that like Drake is just so out of pocket here in the stuff that he's saying. Like obviously there are bits and pieces here. But like I can't say that he's necessarily diving into any kind of content that's so wildly different for Drake on this album. But in terms of the music, I like the album. Like when I started when it starts with Champagne Poetry, I was like, this is dope. This is dope. I thought Poppy's Home was decent. I think the features kind of do. He definitely gets outshined by the features on here.
Yeah, no, of course.
But I do think like there's still decent tracks, and those features are enough for me to still want to come back to the tracks. Like I think Lil Durk was phenomenal, as well as Giveon on that song. Track with Travis was good. Jay-Z's verse was good. Obviously Yebba's Heartbreak was gorgeous. Yeah, there are just, and then obviously the track with 21 Savage and Project Pat, like, come on, that is insane. That song is so good. Like, oh my god, 21 Savage is, he's a different breed. He's simply a different breed
he really is.
Point. The things that song makes me want to do. are
You're not gonna
probably
do it. You're
I'm
not
not
gonna
I'm not
do
gonna do
it.
it. But if that song was playing in the background and I had something else in my system, I don't know. Maybe it is knife talk. Maybe it is knife talk.
You're not. You're not about it. He's not
I'm
about
not
it.
about it. I'm not about it. But
But he could be. We'll see.
I could be. But yeah, then you get to the track with Ty Dolla $ign, which is amazing in my
I don't
opinion.
even remember that one though.
Dude, what? That song is so dope. Obviously, You Only Live Twice with Lil Wayne and Rick Ross was wow. And I thought the Kid Cudi feature was dope too. And it's like this album isn't anything that I'm just like, oh my god, wow, you know. But I don't think I was expecting that from Drake at this point. Like I kind of understand where he's at in his career. He's not going to bring us anything that's on the level of, you know, any of his best works. Like I'm not expecting to get that from him ever again at this point.
Yeah.
So I think I go into a Drake album now with the different type of mindset. And I'm not necessarily looking for the same things I used to look for in a Drake album. And I think maybe some people are. I just think I have a different yeah, I just have a different perspective when I go into a Drake album and what I'm expecting from that. And I think I got on this track some songs that are cool, songs that are fun, songs that I think I can just like yeah, that go in the car. I don't think Drake's rapping on here like he's got his fair share of, you know, Drake bars, which is to be expected, but
Yeah.
got a decent amount of bangers
Drakeisms.
on here. Uh yeah, this album works for me. I think it's a solid album for where Drake is at in his career. I think it's what I would expect from him. Um if he does something like this again on another album, will I be satisfied? Maybe not, since I've already gotten this now. Um,
Right.
but yeah, I think it's just like in my head, I see Drake as a different like I don't see Drake as the artist that made Nothing Was the Same or If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. Like he is a
But
very
and he
he is,
could if he
but
fucking wanted to.
it's the same thing with Kanye, honestly. It's like I can't look at Kanye and I think maybe I can in a more I can maybe look at Kanye more in that way because sonically, I feel like he's still able to bring us some great moments.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly, like you can't look at Kanye as the same artist that made College Dropout, that made My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, that made Graduation. Like he's a very different artist, so you have to restructure your mind for the type of artist that you're about to hear on the song. I know some
Mm-hmm.
people are going to still be like obviously, like you're saying, because technically he is still the artist that made all those albums, and it's not wrong to want something of that caliber from this artist that you know has in the past been capable of doing that.
I just think the difference between those and those situations is that like it seems at least like Kanye is at least trying to do something different each and every time. Like sonically
Yeah,
speaking. It seems like that. Whereas Drake it's like copy paste, copy paste, copy paste.
I can
Where it's a
definitely
lot of
see
the
that.
same shit. And it's like, look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, obviously. But it's
Right.
like I would like to
Yeah.
see him do something interesting, you know?
Yeah, and I can definitely see why, you know, there's not necessarily anything interesting on here per se. I mean, there are interesting things on here, and I think there are sounds and tracks here and there that I'm like, okay, this is cool, that's cool. But overall, no, it's not. He's not breaking any new ground here in
Yeah.
terms of what he's been doing. So I think that's the thing. It's like that. Yeah, that's the thing is I wasn't going into the album wanting him to do that or expecting him to do that.
I mean,
I
I
was
wasn't
like,
either, though.
yeah, but I was like, I know the Drake I'm going to get on this, and I hope that he comes with a good energy based on what I know he's probably going to give us. I hope he, in the songs of like knowing what type of songs I'm going to be getting, I just hope that they are actually good songs. And for me, they were good enough. for me to enjoy the album and add a decent amount of them to my playlist.
I guess.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
I will say though, Champagne Poetry, when it first came on, he did use that Masego sample from Navajo. And I was like, shit, did I like add that to the queue on accident or something? And then I looked at it, and everyone's been saying the same shit, by the way. I've been seeing that on there. It's like, oh shit, did I click the wrong thing? And it's like, I'm sorry, but like, and this isn't a Drake slight. I guess this is more of like whoever produced it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not even going to change the sample?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to change it at all? And it's like, it's like, this is just a Navajo remix then. Why call it Champagne Poetry? This is just Navajo remix.
Yeah, that was...
and it's an old-ass song, too. Like, that song's from fucking, what, 2017?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I wasn't...
Like,
I didn't know...
old-ass beat.
I didn't know it was Masego until I went on Twitter and saw it. And then I was talking to my friend, and he was actually saying... He was actually saying the exact same thing that you're saying now. He was like, dude, like, he didn't even... Like, yeah, they sampled it, but I feel like you can...
you could like change it. Like, you could chop it up a bit more. You could add some shit to it. Like, it's a very, like... It's a very bare bones instrumental, but it's because of the type of music that Masego makes.
Right. Like, so, I will say what made me want to do is go listen to that track. Because I was like, sounds fire. And then I saw people posting the Colors performance, and I was like, this sounds fire.
It's so good. He's so good.
So, yeah, and I mean, I know you've been telling me I need to hop on Masego for a minute.
Yeah, no, he's good.
So, yeah.
Did you ever listen to, what's it called?
Yeah, there was one project. There was one project I listened to.
Was it the Study Abroad one or the, whatever the one that had like a bunch of traveling themes?
No, Studying Abroad. Oh, this one that had Mystery Lady on it.
Yeah, Mystery Lady is so good. I love Mystery Lady.
I can't remember.
That man is so smooth. But yeah, like he didn't change up the fucking sample in the slightest. Yeah. And it's like, come on, like that's so lazy. And it's like, and another thing that I said that a lot of people have said, it's like, well, now they're just gonna be like, oh, that's the Drake instrumental. Like, people are gonna think it's his, and it's like, no, because like people aren't gonna do their due diligence. They're not gonna look it up. They're not gonna look at the credits and see that he was credited and shit like that. Like, they're not gonna know that it originally came from a song. And look, let's say in some weird abstract case, this song pops up on a Drake fan Spotify recommended playlist, and they're like, bro, he just stole the Drake instrumental. What the fuck? I will slap the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
If you say some shit like that. That's so dumb. That's so ignorant. This is a 4-year-old beat, man. This is a 4-year-old beat. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's it. Yeah. That's all I have to say. And that I will say that probably did set the tone for the album for me. I was I was very upset with that.
So you're already, and you're like, I'm not with it.
Yeah.
Valid. I can't argue with you there. But yeah, I think, and you have to answer the inevitable question that's going to be asked. It's being asked by everyone now.
What?
Although your answer seems pretty clear. Donda or Certified Lover Boy?
Donda. I'm going with Donda. I think there's just more like more stuff that sounded good, more interesting stuff on there. Even though like it was a little more bloated than, or a lot more bloated than CLB. There was just more interesting stuff. Like there was stuff, like even if, like I said, I haven't returned to many of the tracks off the album. I was doing some work last night and I put on a couple of the tracks. I was like, I remember these. There's some stuff that's like genuinely beautiful on there.
No, yeah.
And I can't say the same for Certified Lover Boy. There's nothing that's beautiful on there.
Yeah.
There's nothing moving.
That's the kind of thing that I was telling my friends when they asked me. I was like, I mean, like I do, though I am in the minority of people who love this, or not love, but enjoy Certified Lover Boy.
You're not in the minority, by the way. I want you to know that.
Really? Are you sure?
You're in the minority of like the music listener.
I mean, that's what I mean. People that are genuinely going to be analyzing
our
music.
crowd, the crowd that listens to this podcast, like that shit.
Yeah. Obviously not the greater music landscape, but like, you know, amongst the people that I would actually be having these sort of conversations with. But no, yeah, there are moments on Donda that are genuinely beautiful and like tear-inducing and just like
exactly.
Yeah,
and like,
it's just a gorgeous
sorry,
album.
Drake, you're not going to beat that. Like,
he's not.
But Drake's going to sell more. Drake's going to get more play on the radio. I don't think they're playing Jesus Lord on the radio. They're not playing that goddamn 8-minute song.
They're not, but apparently, whatchamacallit, he is going to get some radio. They apparently, I think they said Hurricane was going to be.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I feel like No Child Left Behind has a chance too.
You think they're really gonna be in the car doing No Child Left Behind?
Bro, I will ascend.
He's done Miracles on Me. You think they're?
I think they would. That track was getting a lot of traction prior to the album release.
I mean, it was. I think that, but that's mainly because the whatchamacallit, the album, the teaser or the promotional thing he did.
Yeah, with Shakari.
Yeah.
Shakari?
I don't know. It just doesn't give me radio. You know.
I don't know. They
like,
play non-radio shit.
I could see Off the Grid being on the radio.
That's not gonna get there though.
If they cut down Fivio's verse, like a lot. It's just very long.
They can't do that. Can't do that. He did his thing on that. But yeah, Donda, easy call.
Yeah, neither of them are album of the year for me.
Yeah, no.
No. It's they're just not. I can understand maybe some people saying Donda is their album of the year.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If you're saying Donda is your album of the year, please listen to more music that came out this year.
Wow, that's what you're saying? I'm not going that far. I can see why some people would
I understand why, but I think those people need to listen to more music. I think the people who are saying that that's their album, they need to listen to more music. That's just all I'm going to say, because this has been one of the best years in a while.
It is, which is wild. I was just thinking about this earlier today, which is wild to think, considering the conversations we were having at
earlier this year.
Like earlier this year, not even at the start of the year, but just like earlier.
Like around March. We were like, dude, March, it's so dead April,
this
year.
Probably even May. We were still like,
I think the biggest thing is like, we're getting a lot of good shit that we weren't expecting. The stuff that we were expecting, we haven't really gotten most of it, or it hasn't been that fantastic.
Right. And I think that's the thing is like, when I do my year end list this year, it's probably there are going to be a lot of names on there that have probably never been on a year end list of mine before. Or because they're new artists or artists I just discovered, or people or artists that dropped albums that have finally connected with me. Like, it's just like, I think because of the lack of music from artists that we tend to gravitate towards, it like forced us to find other artists.
Yeah, expand our horizons a bit.
Yeah, and I think that's really been great, and I think it's made it definitely difficult when I'm like, okay, there were probably a lot of albums for my year end list this year. And then you go on Twitter and you see people talking about album of the year, and they're like, all right, Off Season, Donda, Certified Lover Boy,
bro.
Or
Call Me If You Get Lost is the other one.
Like, there were like,
There's
saw Quedeca tweeted,
one contender on there.
Quedeca tweeted, and he was like, why do people talk about rap albums like there's only 4 of them this year? And I was like,
he's got a point. Like he's really not wrong.
Frame this conversation about album of the year like there's only a small amount of rappers that released this year,
because they only pay attention to like those big names that are like seemingly acceptable. Like, and I'm sorry, there's people that genuinely think the Trippie Redd record is album of the year. What are you doing? What are you on? And where can I get some? Because I would like to have that sort of view of the world. Honestly, I really would. I really would. No, I want to have that view of the world.
I'd be scared to have that view of the world.
I would be, but like it seems like such a great it seems like you're having such a great time, and I love that for you.
They are having such a great time. They're having a great time.
Look, I love that for you. I'm not trying to talk shit or anything. Like I love that for you, and I want to know what you're on so I can get on it. All right.
And for the people that say Whole Lotta Red is their album of the year, good for you.
Good for you. That's a pretty like I may not agree, but that's not a terrible take. Like it's pretty salient.
It's not.
But no, like Kanye, Drake, Tyler, and J. Cole. Those are the names that came out that are like, these are big names that I'm allowed to say are my favorite albums this year. Which, by the way, I heard fucking some guys arguing about the offseason and Target the other day. I'm like, why? What? It's like, bro, fucking, it's like, you didn't like the offseason? Like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh no, the coal miners are out. No.
I honestly forgot that. That album, it doesn't.
I forgot too. It's so forgettable. Like, don't get me wrong, it has some of J. Cole's best shit to date, but it's so forgettable. Oh my God. Holy fuck. But it's like, this is y'all's favorite fucking albums. I'm sorry. Like,
people are going to ride for who they ride for.
Yeah, they are. And we're going to ride for who we ride for. And we're going to get in, like, speaking of some album of the year contenders, let's talk about what we got into this week. Do you want to start or should I start?
I'll start.
All right, go for it.
Because we got beautiful music.
Yes, we did.
And just ripping off the Band-Aid with Little Sim's album.
Obviously.
At a loss for words. This is
unexplainable. Amazing. Just listen to it.
It's so amazing. It's one of those where, like, I literally was listening to the album on Thursday. And I will say, I did have to, I was listening to the album because I was going to listen to Drake first, right? Obviously, Drake pushed back his release time on that Thursday night. I listened to Drake first. I was like, fine, Drake didn't drop. I'll just pop in Little Sims. So I listened to Little Sims, then Drake dropped, and I was like, my friend was trying to listen together. So I was like, fine, pause Little Sims, listen to Drake, came back to Little Sims. And it was one of those things where it was just like, after I finished listening to the album, I was just like, buying the vinyl right now. Boop. Like, literally immediately.
I should have.
Yeah, I was just like, I have to have this because this is one of the best albums I've heard all year. And it's amazing. It's just like
so great.
And I could talk about it for so long, but it's just like Sims is obviously has proven herself with previous releases to be a phenomenal rapper, and she continues to be one of not even just like not one of the best women in rap, just one of the best rappers.
Period.
And yeah, the production on this album is amazing, and I don't remember if I said this on the pod or off the pod, but Inflow, who produced this album, who also produced this Salt album, who also produced the Cleo Soul album, producer of the year for me. It's undeniable. Like, this guy is wild. How he's able to produce all this stuff, like, and it's so beautiful. And yeah, I just wow. That album,
wowie,
is gonna sit with me for a while. I can't wait to get that vinyl.
Me neither.
I'm so excited for it.
Got my shipping confirmation. Let's go.
Nice. Yeah, so there was that. I don't remember if I said this in a previous week or not, but the 3 SZA tracks that came out like a couple weeks ago.
I think you did.
I did? Okay.
Yeah.
I just finally added them to Spotify, so I saw those again. Let's see. Obviously, the new Maxwell Cream and Tyler song that came out, what was that, yesterday morning?
Mm-hmm.
That was dope. Let's see. This new track from D-Pat, who is one of the producers in Sonder, which is, the group with Brent Faiyaz and 2 other producers. He released a new song, which I thought was dope. Obviously, he's just a producer, so it was just kind of instrumental with some Brent Faiyaz vocals in the back, kind of. But that was dope. Yeah, I think that was everything from music that I heard. Oh, and obviously Certified Lover Boy I enjoyed. As far as watching, Um, I what did I see? I saw Shang Chi, which is dope.
Yes.
TV. I finished watching Hacks on HBO,
Oh, nice, nice.
which I kind of started a while ago. I thought it was good, but I wasn't like completely like drawn in yet. And I was like, I want to finish this before the Emmys come around, which is very soon. And so I was like, let me just throw on an episode while I'm going to sleep. Um, just like not while I'm going to sleep, but as I'm getting ready, I'm laying down, about to go to bed.
Yeah.
So I throw on this episode. It was like episode 5, and I was just like, God, this was not the episode to put on before I go to sleep because this is so good. I can't stop watching, and I
Damn.
ended up going to bed kind of late because it was so good. And then I just finished the rest of the season the next day. It was just so good.
Wow.
So yeah, definitely excited to see how that performs at the Emmys. Obviously, What If Zombies was a good treat. New episodes of the other two, always, always amazing as usual. Continues to be the best comedy on TV right now, in my opinion.
Wow.
And then of course, new episode of Ted Lasso. Enjoyed that too. I was also watching been watching some Injury Reserve interviews, like going back and watching some of their interviews. Um yeah, I really like seeing them talk about their music, and especially that Fantano interview was really, really dope. Just hearing them talk about like what's been going into this newest album. That was really cool.
Right.
And also I don't watch sports. I don't watch sports. You know this. I'm not a sports guy.
Right.
But I have been watching a sport recently.
A sport.
Yes.
Wow, we're
Can
making
you
progress
guess? Can you guess what it is?
Let's see, it's the fall. What season is it? I'm guessing it's not like a regular sport, right?
No, I mean no. I'll just say it. I've been watching the U.S. Open. I've been watching
Oh,
tennis.
Okay. I was gonna say tennis. Fuck.
Yeah, and I've always loved
Should've-
tennis. Tennis is one of the few sports that I've always genuinely enjoyed.
Tennis
It's
is nice.
just like, I like love watching it. Like the way I feel about tennis is like it makes me understand how people feel about football and basketball and that stuff. I'm like, wow, this is how y'all feel about that, huh? Like I understand. Like I understand the screaming at the TV and the like
Yeah.
getting like just feeling lots of emotions. It's very, very intense. Although I still think tennis is just like more like, I don't know, it's very on the edge of your seat. Like every single point is like make or break,
Yeah.
Which I feel like is something that like a lot of sports don't have, besides maybe like soccer. I feel like points really are like every point is like, ooh,
Yeah.
like really, really important. But it's great. Been loving the US Open. Yeah. I think that's everything.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. What about you?
Look at that. So obviously also love that Lil Sims album for a lot of the same reasons that I was like, oh yeah, agreeing with when you were going. This new Duckworth EP, I wasn't necessarily feeling it as much. Hold on. Let me argue why. Because I think on Super Good, I think he did fantastic. I think on this EP, he doesn't sound like he has his own unique sound on here. He sounds kind of like a Miguel clone on here, especially like I think it was Mask Off Feelings was the one that I really heard, and I was like, he just sounds like he's trying to be Miguel, which I don't necessarily like that much. I love Miguel, don't get me wrong, but like I liked Duckworth because he had a unique voice. That's the thing about a lot of like artists in R&B in general. A lot of them kind of sound the same, especially the males. So like, so like doing something interesting is, what I would go for. So I liked.
That's interesting take, because I actually was gonna try to listen to that before we did this. And it was actually the last thing I listened to before we did the pod, but I only was able to hear the first track. I mean, I heard the singles on there, which I thought were good. But I heard the first track and I was like, man, it's kind of fire. Kind of fire.
Yeah,
but I'll have to see how the rest of it goes.
Like I said, a decent bit of it's really good, but it's just like some of it's just like you're not
super great was super great is what you're saying.
It's not. It's SG8. Oh no, it's not. It's SG8. There's no R. It can't be super great.
8.
Yeah, but there's no R.
It's you gotta. Come on.
No. Now you're making me.
He literally says it on the first track.
Nah, man.
Come on.
Anyway,
that's a easy one.
Anyway, go listen to the song that actually is the sample from Champagne Poetry Navajo. By the way, just wanted to point that out to you folks. New Liz Cooper album, kind of decent. I don't know. I was just kind of like just vibing to it. Okay. Oh, this track from Free Party, PG Baby, I thought was pretty dope.
All right.
And I did like a decent bit of the tracks from the Shang-Chi soundtrack.
I still need to hear that.
Yeah, no. Some of it's just okay, but like I think a decent of it's pretty good. I don't think it's nearly as iconic as the TDE Black Panther album, but I think it's cool that they reached out to 88 Rising to do this in a very similar fashion. I like kind of how they're handling it in a similar way, and I think it's dope getting to see some of these people get their kind of recognition. And like also when Anderson .Paak came on during the credits, this is kind of leading into my thing. I completely forget that he's mixed sometimes. It's like, it's weird. And like this is actually something that I hear a lot. Like a lot of mixed people, like especially mixed people that are black mixed with something else, they're always seen as black first, which is like I always find very interesting, and like, you know, kind of my view on that definitely perpetuated that. So I'm checking myself a bit more.
Gotcha.
But you know, like, hey, like we got Guap Dad on there. That was cool. My Pinoy brother, you know, Janae Aiko too. But it's like, you know, it's dope. It's dope seeing these people, and I like that. This is gonna sound weird, but I like that they had mixed people on there. You know, like I think that's good. It's really good that they did that, and I think it's important that they did that. So,
For sure.
Very nice to see. Very, very, very nice to see. As far as watch, I have been pretty busy this week. I don't know if they had a new episode of Res Dogs, so I didn't get to catch that. And I haven't been getting the chance to get more into Brand New Cherry Flavor, but those are still the shows that I'm on right now. Definitely highly recommend both. Then obviously just watch Shang-Chi, but I'm gonna try to do some more this week. Just getting ahead, I'm gonna go watch Malignant this weekend. I'm probably gonna try to watch a little bit more Brand New Cherry Flavor as well. Catch up on Res Dogs if there's anything, and I don't know, maybe I'll check out some other stuff. Maybe I'll finally do Avatar: The Last Airbender. We'll see. We'll see. Knock on wood. But that's gonna be it for this week's episode. Folks, thank you for tuning in. If you are watching on YouTube, we do post this podcast on various podcast listening platforms. We are now actually, this is new, we're on Amazon Music now. You can listen to us on there.
Wow.
Amazon Music and Audible, they have their podcasting whole dealio there, so you can check us out on that. Thanks, Jeff. Pay me. But we are on there now. But as usual, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, the whole shebang. You know what it is. If you are listening to us and you want to watch us, see what we're looking like, see my sick fit, see Noah's sick fit, you know, youtube.com. Look up Neil and Lens. We don't have a custom URL yet, but we will soon, maybe, hopefully. And for both of those groups, we do stream this live on Twitch every Wednesday. We were a little bit early today, but keyword on only a little bit, but we usually do go live at around 6 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. I almost said 8 o'clock. I almost got my time zones fucked up, but yeah.
But you got it.
I got it. That's going to be it. Thank you for tuning in. Catch you on next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.